Hey, this is our biggest win. I'm Ken. That's Robbie. And yes, this show, which was first a Patreon only podcast, then was a podcast, and then now is a podcast and a vodcast. And it's here on my YouTube channel. And for those that don't know, I invited Robbie a long time ago to start this show. And in it, we celebrate our biggest win of the week, our biggest win of the month, of your year, whatever. Whenever we get together, we talk about the things in our lives that we like. We try to put a positive spin on the horrible things out there, horrible things we experience. And long story short, go back and listen to the episodes. Episode 1 was great. And then Robbie nearly died for 5 months. And then finally we got episode 2. And then now this is episode 4, I think, right? I think
yes.
It is.
Yes.
4.
Or as I'm calling it, the new episode 1.
Yes, the reboot. Robbie, I'm going to start here with it's not a win. It's not a win at all. I need to buy new underwear, and that is something I pride myself on doing regularly. Because in my 20s, like most, I think, straight boys in their 20s, they get out of their home and, mom doesn't remind them. And then you just kind of go with a comfortable brand, and 10 years pass and you're like, man, still using that, ball tent. I need to go get something different. And so I routinely change every 6 months, like I'll add. I have a big collection of underpants, but I need to get a new one because I'm going hiking again, and the new model I have, Robbie, rolls up, and now I've got the chafing thigh thing going, like I'm the little kid who eats fudge at the elementary school, and I need today. I'm going to have to make a big choice in my life. What underpants to wear?
First of all, I'd like to say that my first outing on YouTube with you is me holding up my granny panties. So,
well, okay, but where can I get this?
And no, I enjoy these. Well, Jesus, these are huge, but they're see-through. You can't really tell.
Oh,
because
hold them up for the light.
You might as well be sexy when you're. Actually, it might be better if I do this. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that's sheer. That's almost sheer. Yeah. Oh yeah, you could rob the bank with that.
You might as well be sexy when you're feeling old and decrepit like I am.
Let me ask you this question. Did you put your butt or your crotch up to your face?
I think that was my crotch.
Okay, that's probably would have been my choice.
That's I just my godchildren are gonna watch this. Hi kids.
It's on the internet forever. That's okay. Having a lot of fun here. Thanks. I've been putting more energy, and I'm gonna start. Okay, I'm gonna start, Robbie, with what I consider my biggest win this week. I have let me take it back a couple weeks. I was working a part-time job, writing, doing some research, writing, producing, and developing for a YouTube channel that covers a lot of nerd stuff. Been doing it since May, covering it up, and just been doing it like a rock star. And got laid off from the job 2 weeks ago, which was okay. I try to leave things on good terms. There's a lot of things I wish I could get drunk on the internet and scream about with some folks over there, but not going to do it because they might want to bring me back. And guess what? I want to come back. And maybe I've already said too much, but I was really down, really out, got to figure out my future again. And so I was like, it's time to go back, not just to YouTube, because I don't think you can easily just make it on YouTube, but just putting stuff out there that I want to put out in the way I want to do it, but do it with consistency, do it with some work behind it, and do it with just let me see what happens if I finally lay it all on the tracks, put some blood on the tracks. And so I started that. Started the morning show, 20 minutes of coffee that I do about once to 3-4 times a week. It's not a regular show because I record stuff for Force Center on the mornings. Started that. We're doing this. We're on video now. I've got This Day in History is coming. I got Motivations with Ken returning. But what has happened to me in the past, Robbie, is I'll start this. And then I'm not expecting giant numbers right away. I get that. But then it just kind of feels like it fell flat. It was a tree that fell in the forest that no one's listening to, other than my core supporters for Patreon and listeners. And I keep telling all of you, and I keep saying to myself, show up for the people that show up for you. But it's hard to do that sometimes when you're like, my morning show, my 20 minutes of coffee, it got demonetized by YouTube because they didn't like I think I was defending Julie Armand's lawsuit against CAA over the Harvey Weinstein situation. They demonetized it. Who knows? Maybe I said his name. This might be demonetized. So it's hard to make it. and not a lot of people checking in. They're going to check on the other yahoos that I used to work with who just talk about what Batman cape you like best and nothing about the real world and nothing about anything of consequence. And normally, Robbie, this is the point where I would be demoralized and I would stop and I'd cry myself to sleep. But I didn't do that. And not only did I not do that, I edited 2 videos yesterday that are ready to come out next week. I did a promo video today for my comedy album. I did a lot of wonderful things. I feel good. My biggest win is I'm not yet giving up on myself. I'm going to take it.
Excellent. Yeah, it's easy to get discouraged. And I know that sidebar, comedy album next week.
Oh, yeah. It's coming out next week. There it is. Ken Napzok in my day, live from the Harrison Pub.
Very excited about that. Yes.
October 10th. And the link, it's not live right now. Some people have asked me about this. I didn't do a pre-save, or I did do a Spotify one. So you can go to my website, kennapzok.com, and you can go get the Spotify pre-save. But I'm pushing all of you, please, to consider going to kennapzok.bandcamp.com. The link will be live. Probably going to drop it when you're all least expecting. But Tuesday, the 10th, this coming Tuesday, as of this recording session. Get it there. It's a special edition with bonus content, an interview called Ken Napzok on Ken Napzok. It's basically a bonus Saturday Night Napzok. Additional comedy taped in San Diego. It's like a full hour, and I'm selling it at price to go at $10. It would be amazing if people supported the Bandcamp one, because it's not a corporation that I have to get I use DistroKid to get it out to all the corporations. I want it on Apple. I want it on Amazon Music. I want it on Spotify. I want it there. I shop at Target. I'm not some angel who, turns his back on corporations. But Bandcamp would really help. So, Robbie, thank you for reminding me. That's the big push. End of the show. Bye-bye.
Hey, that's exciting to me.
Well, get excited, Robbie. Get excited.
I am excited because, I enjoy, it's funny. I haven't really missed the content creators, and I hate using that phrase because it's so, there's a connotation. I don't consider the people I listen to as just content creators.
Yes.
I mean, you're a friend, but I don't know Joseph very well other than the internet,
sure.
but I see him, him and Jennifer as more than content creators. I don't see the Wangers as just content creators.
Yeah.
I don't see great. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
But it's the term we have. I don't bristle at it as much as others, but I think you're right. It's a symptom of a bigger problem. But yes.
Well, yeah, because we're thinking of those people that show up in forests internationally, and there's dead bodies hanging from a tree, and then they try to get views over it.
Yes.
Remember that from a couple of years ago, or did I dream that?
And no, and now he is very successful in the world of wrestling, which is a perfect fit, and he's good at it. Unfortunately, I'll have to.
But at least it's a real direction. He's not, I agree with
you. I agree with you. Yeah, I don't look. I'm not going to ever call myself an artist, but I've got music coming out. I'm working on a book of poetry next year. Like I'm not just doing content. The problem is I don't mind the term. It's when an idiot like David Zaslav comes in and only thinks of it all as IP to be mined or content to be made to make the stockholders happy. And that's the state of the industry and the strikes. Anyway.
And now we just got demonetized.
Now we just got demonetized, probably. Not the fact that you put your face up to your underpants.
No, because that sells. Because I found that you can stretch the limits to what you can do on YouTube. But anyhow, what I was saying was, I'm excited about your album, because I enjoy your comedy and I enjoy you, but also I like the thing that what I was saying is I'm exhausted now. Jesus.
I'm sorry. I talked a lot, too much.
I haven't missed the talking about movies or television or whatnot as much as I thought I would, because I found that I was listening to a lot of you guys.
Yeah.
That's my dad talking. Thanks. I
hope he was delivering you pizza.
I have I think I got new curtains for my room.
Shit, your curtains arrived right here live on air?
I know, it's very exciting. I would open them, but I know. What the hell was I saying? Okay, so the content that I've been listening to.
Yeah, you don't miss the movie talk.
No, because I'm finding that because the industry has had to switch gears, people are talking more about, I mean, they're pivoting to other things. Like Force Center is other center.
Right.
And as much as I know that takes away from the base, and there's some people that are like, oh, that's well and good, but I want to talk about, you know, Anakin Skywalker's underwear. Okay, cool. Like, I get that. I want to talk about that too. But also, I enjoy hearing like more about Jennifer and more about Joseph and more about you. You know, and a lot of people are doing that, and I enjoy that. So going back to the comedy album, I like the fact that it doesn't have to be, you know, like I fell in love with you when somebody asked you about a movie and you're like, I haven't been to the movies, and you were just so honest and just so like.
What show was that? Was it when it was on Collider? Because I think that's one of the reasons I got fired.
Yeah, you were like, I don't know what you're talking about, but keep going. You were so just like curmudgeonly and honest in the best way that I adore, and I was like, this kid Napzok's going places because
I'll tell you where he's going. He's going. Yeah, he's demonetized on a 100 video. By the way, sidebar. One of my favorite moments of Collider. And by the way, I think they were right to let me go first because it was a movie channel and I didn't watch movies. Like I have no ill will towards anyone there. And I'll always say this, I'll say it publicly. Mark Fernandez was very honest with me the entire time. I will always say that. We covered the Oscars like early 2017 and we had an Oscar day and it was a big event. It was fun. Everyone dressed up and we were doing live during the commercial breaks. We jump on set. And I didn't expect to be on, but the head guy in charge was like, and Ken should get in here too. And I have never faked it until I made it so much during a live shot. If you watch clips of me, I'm just like saying stuff like, oh, I'm so glad so-and-so, it's so important that they got nominated. And I didn't know one fucking thing about what I had seen or was watching.
I think I vividly remember. So The Shape of Water is a thing. Yeah, I remember that year. I think that was the year that I started listening to you guys.
Yeah, I was at the Shrimp Cocktail. By the way, okay, it's happening again, Robbie. I'm not editing this out. There's something that keeps popping up. I
just heard that.
You heard it.
Yeah.
So in our Patreon pre-roll, by the way, if you support at patreon.com/Napzok, you get the pre-roll of the show where Robbie and I go off the cuff before we start. Oh, there's an advertisement. And this was going, and Robbie was like, I don't hear it. And I'm like, it's in my ear. I think maybe I got tinnitus or something, but no, you hear it too.
I know, right there.
Yeah.
It's like static. It's like hold on.
You know what it is? Now you can't hear it. It's probably the UFOs after I went public with the fact that there are no UFOs and then it's all the David Gorsh stuff is all a big.
I am in space.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. It's great. Thank you for that background. I love that it really matches. I don't know where we're going. We were on content. You didn't miss it. Sidebarred. I distracted you. We're blathering now.
No, Amazon came.
Oh, perfect. I've got to
shout out to. I get in trouble. My best friend Aaron, who I'm going to call out publicly because everyone in the Discord knows him. Aaron really came through for me when I was sick and is an amazing, wonderful person. I've known him damn near 30 years. He is just delightful and funny. And he has a blog called Onward Stranger Fiction. He's very funny.
Check it out.
He's a big nerd in the most delightful way. And but he works for a independent bookstore, which I love independent bookstores because there's not enough of them left.
We need them. Yeah.
And so he would have no problem with me saying that he thinks that certain companies that sound like Amazon are the devil. And I don't disagree. When it comes to like books and whatnot. However, you know, it's not. I mean, where else am I supposed to get my Nightwing's ass?
I've come around on I understand. This is great. By the way, this is what our biggest win is about. We're going to get to Robbie's big win in a moment, but
I'm stalling because I'm trying to come up with one.
well, be honest. If you didn't have one, you didn't have one, or it's could be small. We're going to talk about your birthday. You had a birthday this week. But about this, I in between two worlds on the big box store things. I'm go after today. When we're done recording, I'm running to a Target. I need to go get something. I also just ordered a fire pit from Target. I also went on Amazon today and ordered a car window squeegee and a cell phone holder. And I could go to Staples. I could go to AutoZone. I don't have time. So that the convenience one, it's just that it's with any new tech, it's what the powers that be do with it that destroys, I think, the world at large. It destroys workers, destroys the local stores. But I always used to joke though. I have a friend who's he'll get in my face literally and be like, "Why do you shop at Target? It's destroyed our community." I'm like, "Well, because the only stores on that street that the Target's on near my house, they sell like porcelain cats, man, and like." It's shoe repair. Like there's nothing that I need on those shops. I'd support them if I could.
Yeah.
But they don't sell what I need. And
I don't feel good about it. But
I don't feel great about
it. It goes back to the whole streaming thing. Mm-hmm. You know, I would love to boycott these companies if it didn't fuck over the millions of people that work for them and who contribute their time and their energy and their talent and their skills and their livelihoods. So, you know what? So I can, fine. I'll look angry when I shop at Target. How does that sound?
Yeah. So, it's like, there was good reason at one point for people to maybe stop using Uber early on in Trump's administration when that one night that the immigration travel ban, all the stuff that happened, and everyone decided, no, we don't use Uber anymore. I never stopped. I signed up for Lyft. I use Lyft. It's harder to use Lyft, and there's less cars. And also, the guy trying to feed his family in the Uber, it's not his policy that the owner of the company did or whatever. I even forget the controversy behind Uber. So it's a delicate balance. I'm more aware of the world. I'm more plugged into the dangers of corporate capitalism. I think it's destroying things. I think streaming has destroyed the industry and has taken profits away. There it is again. They're monitoring us, Robbie.
It's definitely not just static because I'm hearing I'm hearing Babylon 5.
Yes.
I'm hearing some sort of.
There's a white van outside of my house right now because they're like, this guy defended Julia Ormond's right to sue civilly for the Harvey Weinstein sexual assault and the fact that her career was stopped. I probably demonetized my video right there.
Do you think that the Borg is coming for you to assimilate you? Okay, now I hear a fucking cat. That's on my end for definitely.
Do you own a cat? Oh, okay.
My dad has a cat. And
That's good. I thought for a second no one owned a cat and it was a ghost cat. That's where my mind went. Because I live with a witch. I went with a ghost cat. My friend, my high school.
The light is coming for it. See, now the Borg's coming for me.
Yeah. Now the wind lights. My high school buddy, I was 2 years before him. Manu Intiraymi is an actor. He's out here in LA. He was Icheb on Star Trek Voyager. I think Voyager. The one with Jerry Ryan, the first run. He was a Borg. He played a Borg. Mm-hmm. And, I'd be a Borg. It sounds fun.
The makeup's intense.
They're going to hang out with Jerry Ryan. That sounds fun. I'll do that. You got to put some things on my face or something, whatever.
You're such a straight guy to say that.
Well, look.
Although when I was younger, I had a crush on Will Wheaton, who was the Next Generation. And my best friend makes fun of me because I still talk about how cute he is. And he's like, my friend Aaron's like, he was like 14. I'm like, well, at the time I was like 10.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying that, as the elderly grandmother I am today, that I would jump in.
Yeah. I'll clip this out. I don't know him, but I've been around Will and Ann Wheaton a lot. They're mutual friends with my friend Jen Miro and other things. So next time I see him at a party, I'm going to pull this up.
Oh, you should.
Like,
he's adorable.
Grandma Robbie liked you.
He is all. I mean, going back to Stand By Me, you know, and he just, and you know what? I think that he's underrated. And I think that the stuff he still does is really, like, I'm glad that he's still doing his thing.
He's doing his thing. And I think, his career's an interesting trajectory, because it seems like whatever happened in that, he was just on 1 or 2 seasons of Generations.
Well, he was kind of back and forth, because he went away for a little bit and then came back. And
that's right.
You know, I don't know if he necessarily wanted to be in the industry though, or if he was pushed. I have to do more research, but definitely the fact that he's, and this sounds morbid, but the fact that he's still with us, given he was a child star, is kind of amazing, because hardly any of the kids that I grew up with that are in the industry are with us anymore. Or haven't had some sort of Lindsay Lohan trauma. God bless you.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, you and me were of that era. Different Strokes was a show I didn't miss, and the tragedy of Dana Plato and all of the. It's tough. Yeah, no, it's tough. It's reality. Wow, well, this just went to great spots. But I was laughing that Grandma Robbie was, leching over, a 14-year-old boy. But
oh my God, and his little unitard.
Was it? I'm sure by 10. You already knew what team you played for? Oh. But was that just something that made you like, I'm glad I'm on this team?
I remember I was 10 years old, and I remember sitting in front of the television, and I just thought to myself, there is a fire in my loins for that boy. Because even at 10, I was sophisticated.
Yeah, no, we're pretty much the same age, months maybe separate us. And it's like, for me, it's very like Alyssa Milano was like the gal, right? Like all those shows she was on, and now she's like 51 or something. Like, looks great and doing wonderful. I see her on Twitter, very politically active, very aware of the world at large. And and I know a lot of guys in my generation. It's like you look at her still, and you're just like, oh yeah, Alyssa Milano. Like, yeah.
It was that. I would say it was from like that 85 to 95.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Beverly Hills 90210 was the most ridiculous show on television.
Right.
Just under Melrose Place. But like Brian Austin Green.
Yeah. Jason
Priestley, Luke Perry. Luke Perry, who, God rest his soul, because he can talk about going on to do other really awesome things.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I digress. This isn't,
you're doing
this isn't an episode of my, my history of loves.
No, I think it's part of the journey. I'm fascinated by that. That early. Like, no, you can't lie. Early. Everyone knows early.
I think the first time I saw Rob Lowe, and I was really young, and I was like, he's
early beautiful. Brat Pack stuff.
I think it was like Outsiders, which is one of my favorite books and favorite films ever.
Yeah.
Because it's a metaphor, kids. If you haven't read it, you should. And there's but I saw Rob, and not even Tom Cruise, not Patrick Swayze. They're all fine. But Rob Lowe and those beautiful blue eyes, I was like, I could love him. And then he went on to do a sex tape.
Yeah, we worked through that one. There were some things that happened. And his comeback was Wayne's World.
Yeah.
That was his make us laugh, we'll forgive everything type of thing. I don't know.
It's been epic ever since. I mean, he's done so many things, and
he was
in West Wing, The Lion's Den. He did that thing, Brothers and Sisters. He's on a show now.
Yeah, Grace is watching that one there. Yeah, too.
Let me mention all the TV shows that we're not supposed to be talking about.
I know I'm not supposed to be supporting struck work, but here's the thing: if I'm mentioning the resume of Alyssa Milano in the '80s, I'm okay with my soul on that one. There, we ruined our Star Wars podcast, and I'm joking. We didn't ruin it. We probably in the end strengthened it, but we took a hit. I'll stand by my morals during this strike. I'll stand by it. Yeah, I'm trying to think. One of my earliest, I guess sexual awakening is the thing, but I'm going beyond that, where you just, where you're going to get in that batter's box right, left, or maybe just stand over the plate. You'll know. And early, and it was like Annie. I keep always talking about my first movie that I remember seeing in the theater was Annie, the musical, the Telly Savalas, Carol Burnett, right? And Annie yourself. No wonder I'm engaged to a spunky, sassy redhead. Like it was my earliest. Like, oh, I think I don't understand the things coursing through my brain, but that I like what's going on here.
That tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, look at me and Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing. I mean, if you really look at him, he's got Rob Lowe's ass.
Show me that. Hold on, keep holding that up. I'm solo laying that ass here. If you are listening on audio, just go to the video around this minute. Robbie did a full screen ass. All right, I'm not going to let you get away with it in the time we have left because I do have to go to the grocery store. I'm thinking of getting a Greek salad tonight.
Could you grab me some Ensure while you're there and ship it over?
Do you have the Ensure? Because I know you're kind of on a mostly liquid existence these days. Is Ensure the drink of choice?
Sometimes, yeah. I also really enjoy rum and Cokes. No, I can't drink. I don't drink, but I've become one with yogurt.
I love yogurt. There's these French ones. When we were in Paris, which was 2.5 of the best days of my life, Grace and I, we thought we're going to go out and get like a fancy French cafe breakfast. The hotel restaurant had a great all-you-can-eat breakfast. And it seems kind of lame on a trip to Paris and you're in the hotel lobby bar restaurant. It was spectacular, but they had these little yogurts and I was eating and I loved them. And I thought, here I am, little small town Kenny is having these cultured French yogurts. This is the best. Then we fly back and they're in Target. The same ones.
Okay, bonus win for you.
Yeah. Oh, Grace has had to clear space in the refrigerator. We fight over space like, we're in a war for territory. There's almost an entire drawer that's just me and my French yogurts.
I love that.
So I feel for you though, Robbie, because I have the choice. You don't necessarily have it right now, but I suggest.
Well, all of my choices have been taken away from me, but that's okay because, what I lack in choice, I make up for in personality
and hair color. You've got some new hair lately. It's you described it as fluffy off air. I think it looks.
It is. It's a little wackadoo.
It's a blonde, it's pure blonde, right?
It is, yes. Or as my natural color of snow. With some pee in it. This is off the rails. Okay, I do have a win.
What's your win?
Okay, so this week was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
And thank you.
Hold on. Let's be honest. I forgot to text you on your birthday.
No, you did actually text me on my birthday. You just didn't say anything about it. That's perfectly fine.
But you didn't fish for it. So
no, but also I said, hey, we should do the show on Friday and I could talk about my birthday. So I knew you knew it. And it wasn't trust me, I'm not that person. I've had so many of them. And go back to episode 2 and hopefully you'll get this joke when I say it. But so the fact that I reached another birthday, I'm so thankful to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyhow, it was an interesting birthday because I'm still kind of recovering from all the stuff that I'm recovering from. And the eating thing is a little odd. And, we'll talk more about that in the future because I don't want to always be about, my crazy eating habits.
Sure.
Or my shit bag. See, we said it this time too. Go back to episode 2. Okay. Go back to episode 1 and get the epilogue or the prologue to what the hell was happening. Go to episode 2 for the truth. And go to episode 3 for just insanity, and then come back here. But anyhow, so adjusting and whatnot, and I've moved recently.
Yeah. Well, you had to.
I had to, and I'm just starting to get my space in line, and I did a lot of downsizing. So, of course, it's awkward because I always tend to do these things. I mean, not often, but You know, it's always sort of downsizing, like around the birthday or around a holiday when people are like, hey, what do you want for your birthday? And I never know how to answer that question because I'm not like, I have all the things I need.
Yeah.
You know, I am blessed. For all my sarcasm, I am blessed. But also this year, I'm like, I'm throwing away so much shit. Like, I don't want anything.
Yeah.
But but you know, my friends are and my family are great, and and they you know, they contributed to my new space and
looks
whatnot.
great.
And there's a dog. My dog is playing with a squeaky toy outside of the
I
door,
hear it,
and
it's delightful.
She is. One day, Susie. For those of you who know my dog Susie, she will make an appearance in the future, but
Please.
She's been a little bit misbehaving lately.
So is Franny.
Franny
absolutely murdered someone in
I
her
think
house.
I think Franny and Susie would be like Lucy and Ethel.
They probably be like Thelma and Louise,
which would be fantastic. They would take us all over the cliff. Spoiler. But two of the things that I've discovered, well, one thing I discovered going through all my stuff is because I'm not a pack rat, but between myself and my family, there's just stuff everywhere. Do you remember these?
Yes.
I have all three of them.
These are the when R2 chimes turn the page things. For those for on audio, Robbie has just held up 3 of Star Wars audiobooks, the records that we'd get as kids. It tells the story of the Star Wars movies, the original trilogy, of course. And yes, at the beginning, it says, anytime you hear R2-D2 chime, beep, boop, 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 turn the page.
And I have not seen these. I think Return of the Jedi came out when I was like 6.
Yeah.
So we're going through old records because I got myself a record player and I, was pulling out all my Madonna 45s and whatnot. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I played them last night and they still play. I don't have, I need to get slip sleeves for them. I don't have, obviously the books have been gone for 4 years.
Yeah.
But I was so excited and I thought I have to show Ken these.
Know who I think sent me the Return of the Jedi one, or I think it was Brian Ward. I think someone sent me. Oh man, I don't want to give credit to the wrong person, but Brian Ward deserves all the credit in the world for everything. But I have the Return of the Jedi one. I think I have 2 copies of it with the book.
They are delightful, and my favorite thing about the first one is, because again, it's a very abridged, very children's version of those stories, and at points there's characters not even talking. It's just the actor playing Obi-Wan going, and what do you think? And then the narrator will be like, and so said.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I love it. So there's that, which made
that's part of your win. That's part of your win.
Well, that's a nice little discovery because, sometimes when you go through old stuff, it can be like, nostalgia is great, but it can also be very weepy. Like I found some of my mom's records, and my mom passed away a couple of years ago, so of course that made me cry. But this made me smile.
I was going to ask you what the records are, but that sounds like I'm turning the knife in the wound. But
there's lots. It's a lot of 80s, like my stuff that like my parents got for me, like Madonna, Cindy. I've got the 45 of Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Cyndi Lauper. Nice. Pat Benatar's Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
Yes.
I can't remember their name. Putting on the Ritz, that the 80s group that did it. I'm such an 80s child.
You are. That's why our theme song is literally called like 80s small theme or something like that. Yeah.
And but speaking of gifts and whatnot, my wonderful taco, which is also something I miss eating.
So do I.
Excuse me, I keep coughing. Oh God. Okay, we won't go down that rabbit hole because it'll just make me sad when I sit down and eat my, fucking baby food tonight. Anyhow, so my very good friend, I have 2 good friends, two best friends named Shannon. One is of the Michigan persuasion, one of them is of the Syracuse persuasion. Well, the Syracuse persuasion is she's delightfully bitchy in a way that I can appreciate, and I am. She got me what I think you'll appreciate is probably the best birthday gift or gift to give anyone ever.
Yeah.
It's the Rage Diary.
Oh, beautiful. You need this. We all need this.
And so every day you have two sides. You have the let it all outside, and then you have the try to be positive side.
Nice.
So the let it all outside is the asshole of the day, color in your rage level, clusterfuck of the day. These things make me want to punch my pillow, and curse word of the day.
That's beautiful. And you just fill it out. It's a little worksheet at the beginning of the day to work it all out.
And then the opposite side is more shit. Continue venting and or explore the possibility that there might actually be a silver lining in all of this.
Okay, I like that.
There's also, I'm fucking lucky to have, list people and or things that you're grateful for. Happy thought of the day. And my favorite, what can I do to unclusterfuck tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm going to... with permission from the publisher, I'm going to make a copy of this and I'm going to send it to you. Because
I'll add to cart somewhere. You just tell me where they got it. I might have to buy one for the house here too.
I love it. It's a Rage Page, a journal for the bad days.
So this is great. So this is
that's my recommendation for you all.
Are those your wins? Is that your win?
That's my win, is that, hey, it's like you found some, you find some good and you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life, Kenny.
The facts of life. The facts of life. Well, we've done it. We've named it. We've both shared our biggest win. I didn't give up on myself this week, and I'm not going to give up on myself yet. I
haven't rolled over, so we're
haven't rolled over. And we both know the exact moment there was a fire in our loins, and that's an important thing in life. You all should look back and identify the first time the fires were in the loins. All right, housekeeping on the way out. Yes, again, Ken Napzok in my day, live in the Harrison Pub in London. Special edition will be available on Bandcamp at kennapzok.bandcamp.com, or you can go to my website, kennapzok.com, to make it easy. And if you're watching this coming Monday night, I'll be live on the Wanger Show, and I think if you're watching, you'll get special access to this right now. All right. That's the deal. That's what I'm going to try. Robbie, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing your win. Thank you all. Thank you to anyone who supports on Patreon at patreon.com/KenNapzok, where you got the Patreon pre-roll for Robbie and I. That is it. We'll see you, friends. Bye.